Well, for more, we're joined by Julia Chapman, who's outside Sheremetyevo Airport. Julia, first give us an update on those dozens of survivors that we've been hearing about. What's being said about their conditions?
Yes, well, we understand that there are 9 people in hospital at the moment, 2 of them at least in a critical condition. Those are the ones among the 37 people who survived. We've been hearing from officials today who say that 33 of the survivors were passengers and 4 of them were crew members. And that means that 41 people were killed in this tragic incident on Sunday evening here at Moscow's Sheremetyevo Airport when that plane dramatically made impact on the runway and burst into flames. The back end of the fuselage up in flames, and that killed 41 people, and we understand 1 crew member was among that number. And so we've been hearing today from officials about the investigation that's now been carrying out. As you say, the black boxes have been recovered from the plane. The data analysis from those black box flight recorders is already being carried out. And we also understand that the plane is still on the runway. The charge remains are being investigated there. So here at Sheremetyevo Airport, only 1 runway is up and operational, but there are flights coming and going today.
And Julia, they've said that equipment failure is one of 3 potential causes for this crash, but authorities have just announced they feel there's no need to ground any other Sukhoi jets.
Yes, that's right. They're looking into a number of possible explanations for this incident. As you mentioned, pilot error, air traffic control error, a plane malfunction, or bad weather, or possibly a combination of those factors. And so we won't know for a while yet which of those factors was behind this tragic incident that happened on Sunday evening. But as you say, they've decided not to ground other Sukhoi superjets of this kind from other airlines, from Aeroflot itself. We heard yesterday from the plane manufacturer Sukhoi. They put out a statement saying that this was a relatively new plane. It was built in 2017 and it had been maintained as recently as last month. So Sukhoi very keen to impress that the plane was under full maintenance. It had been updated and was a very new aircraft. So very much trying to deflect from any potential criticism coming their way about the make of the plane itself.
Right, but other than the aircraft, what about the airline's safety record?
Well, Aeroflot has a pretty good safety record, both domestically and internationally. These Sukhoi superjets, they only use on their domestic routes, but in general, Aeroflot is considered to be a very reliable, very safe airline. We heard from Aeroflot officials yesterday saying that the evacuation took place in 55 seconds once the plane made impact on the ground. We saw those dramatic pictures of the safety slide coming out of the airplane and of passengers fleeing from the aircraft. And of course, as we understand, 37 of them made it out alive. Aeroflot says that happened very quickly. That evacuation happened quicker than it usually does. They say 90 seconds is the standard for this sort of procedure, and it happened in 55 seconds. So Aeroflot very keen to suggest that they've done everything right in this situation, but of course we'll be learning more in the coming days whether there could have been any pilot error. We heard from Aeroflot as well that both pilots made it out of the aircraft alive. They're among the 4 crew members who survived, but we also hear that they were the last ones to leave the plane.
Okay, Julia Chapman, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you for that from Sheremetyevo Airport in Moscow.